The Legion is one of Dead by Daylight's older killers, releasing in the middle half of the game's third year, and although he has received two major reworks, one being the most overkill nerf of any killer in the roster, and the second being a well-crafted apology to Legion mains, he still remains a very weak and neglected character. Historically, Legion has never been particularly good. Outside of a handful of add-on combinations or perk builds that have since been removed, there hasn't been a patch where Legion was considered to be among the stronger or even middle-of-the-road killers. The primary reason Legion hasn't gotten any better is their lack of anti-loop. They can occasionally body block when exiting their frenzy or vault and cancel their power to keep up, but they don't have a direct way of downing survivors, or at least not anymore. Previously, the best way to down survivors would be to use the add-ons Frank's Mixtape and Stab Wound Study, which set the deep wound timer to 15 seconds instead of the default 20, and repeated hits would reduce the bleed out timer by 5 seconds each time, meaning after 4 hits the survivor would bleed out and you could pick them up and get them on a hook. This was pretty fun to play with, but since their second rework, this playstyle has been all but removed from the game. With that in mind, there are a couple of things Behavior could do overnight that would make Legion feel a lot better to play without making them overtuned, or even uncounterable. Obviously, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, because of course we do. Legion has a lot of artificial restrictions, but one that makes absolutely no sense is their inability to see blood and scratch marks. There is no reason a killer that moves barely faster than base speed in their so-called sprint should be able to track survivors. I mean, a large portion of his kit is tracking, so we remove tracking just to give him tracking. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. Killers like Blight, Nurse, even recent releases like 𝗥𝗴𝗂𝗘𝗏 Houndmaster can not only move much faster than Legion, but can also see scratch marks and blood pools. You could even toss 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 in the mix, since he can vault pallets and down survivors, something Legion can't do unless he hits 4 other players first. Another issue with Legion is their cooldown phase, more specifically the darkening VFX. As you can see on screen right now, Legion's darkening effects are not as they should be. I don't know exactly what patch this changed, but it's unnecessary for this to be the way it is, and it's even darker compared to other killers with similar cooldown states. The last thing I want to touch on is an ounce, a squeeze you might say, of anti-loop, or really just exploit protection. When a survivor runs through 𝗥cie𝗴𝗂𝗏 or 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 during their pallet or window vault, they immediately get hit, and if they're injured, they go down. This makes sense since the survivor has no collision during the vault animation and could vault back over the pallet or window before the killer can react. 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏, who is non-lethal by the way, much like Legion, also has this feature. Now, I don't think Legion should get this auto hit mechanic, but I do think they should be able to grab and interrupt survivors who do this. So any survivors attempting to vault back over a pallet can be grabbed and put immediately on your shoulder, assuming they're already injured. This can also be extended to things like generators, as the only reason you would get grabbed is by simply not running away from the killer, so it would be entirely your fault. Anyways, those are some pretty simple suggestions that I thought I'd toss in the ring. If you want to watch any of my videos early and gain access to exclusive content, consider joining my channel as a member. I upload up to 3 times a day and actively reply to my community comments. Thanks for watching, guys.